Shout out Terry Conan, Southern T Boxing and Sports with the exclusive. Yes, sir, Terry. Shout out my guy, the Zoom Verse. The Zoom Verse, glad to see you got this situated back at it. Always grinding, no days off. Yeah, my brother, we about to get into it. I'm on a little early. I'm gonna send her the invite about, about 3:10, 3:15 or something like that. I'm a little early. I'm still getting situated. How you doing, though, my good brother? Yeah. Yes, I could have gave it to you, huh? Oh, Ghost, what's good? Appreciate y'all folks sliding through here. I'm a little early. I'm finna get this shit going. I ain't sent her the link yet. She gonna be in. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a second. That's why I came on a little early. I'm sending the link about it at 3. What's good, Ghost? Y'all bear with me for a second. Can y'all hear me and shit? Let me make sure. Y'all bear with me for a second. Can y'all hear me and shit? Let me make sure. Okay, appreciate that. Let's get this shit shared. Okay. Appreciate everybody that's coming through. If y'all could y'all like, could y'all like the video? If y'all haven't, could y'all subscribe to the channel? I'm about to get Sulem in here really, really soon. About to get Sulem in here really soon. Let me go on. Y'all sending a link. I got 7 likes. Y'all didn't even say nothing to me. That's crazy. I got 7 people in here, but only 2 people said something. I ain't mad at y'all in here though. I ain't mad at y'all in here. I'm just saying. Shout out to y'all good people. Thank y'all for coming through here with me, kicking with me on my Southern T. MP, what the fuck? There's no notification saying, damn, bro, that's fucked up. Oh, my bad. Let me stop cussing. Let me get. It's messed up, bro. They trying to shut me down. They trying to shut me down. I ain't even got started yet. They trying to shut me down, man. Can I at least, can I at least get some traction first? Shout out MP What the Fuck for sliding through. I'm gonna send her the link at exactly at 3 o'clock. I'm gonna send her the link exactly at 3 o'clock. I came on a little early. Get situated. I stay coming through, bros. The movement strong, no matter how many. Yeah, facts for sure. Yep. All I need is one, bro. YB, all I need is one. That's all I need. I'm getting right though. The queen coming through. The queen coming through. Yeah, and I ain't sent to the joint. How y'all good people doing? I thought we was gonna have to reschedule this joint, but everything worked out. And we rock it. And I'm happy about it. Jump in the Cadillac. Means it was just better to be filmed delayed, just man. You got a way a little to put on the fire. Yeah, for sure. Carmelo, yeah, Melo going to the Lakers. Y'all heard anything about Melo going to the Lakers? Or they just strictly rumor? I don't see my mic what. Damn. Okay. Okay, Melo. Came Von 86. It ain't if it ain't been me no keep it right. Shout out King Von 86. I know King, but I'm finna give you a wrench, Vonnie. I know you, Vonnie. I seen you around. And I fuck with your name. Shout out King Vonnie for coming through this joint. Sudden T salute. Boy, what's your name? Boy, what's your name, Bill boy? Boy, what's your name, Bill? PH, PGH, Big Dog. Okay, shout out PJ Big Dog coming through this jump. Demetrius, right. Hold on, boy, and I got you, boy. I'm finna send her the link. I'm finna send her the link now. She just hit me up. So I'm lacking. I'm lacking. Shout out my homie Demetrius, right? I'm finna take care of you. I'm black. I'm finna shoot her the link. I'm finna shoot her the link right now, y'all. Finna shoot her the link right now. Shout out Demetrius Bright coming through. Shout out Kane Von. Long live, yeah, long live that man. Shout out Kane Von coming through. I'm finna send the link to her now. My phone acting, man, slow. I had a rough day, man. It's like all my shit just been malfunctioning. My power shut off on me. My phone on the X slow. Matter of fact, I'm finna do it from here. This is what I'm finna do. I ain't putting it in the chat. I'm finna copy it. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Sent Urbina. Sent that, John. I sent it. I sent it. Now, hopefully, I can get my shit to act right. I just sent that junk to her. Let me make sure. Oh, she here. Okay. Okay, bet. She here, y'all. Let me get the other one now. I thought I did something wrong, but I did. Let me bring it on real quick. Oh.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
I'm good now. Thank you for coming on. I'm so glad you came. I want to start this by saying, I really do appreciate you coming on here because you did not have to come on here. So I really want to let you know that I do greatly appreciate you stopping through here because um, I'm an upstart show. I had my show like a year. I probably been active on it like maybe 3 or 4 months. So for
Mhm.
you to come through here, that do mean a lot to me, and I do really appreciate that.
No, it's not a problem. I appreciate every single one of you. I think you guys have, like you said, you guys don't have to cover boxing, and especially women in boxing. And I appreciate everyone that takes the time to speak to not only myself but to other female boxers also.
Yeah, for sure. I got all love. I got all love in the world for y'all. I feel like actually I started this page for women's boxing, but I kind of my first show was about Wilder, but originally it was going to be about women's boxing. But I talked about the Wilder situation, and my second show actually was about women's boxing. That's why, in my mind, that's really why I started. For to advocate for people, who need it. You know what I mean? That's why I started my show.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. So I got icebreaker. This icebreaker game that I like to play with my guests. To kind of break the ice. To get us,
Okay.
warmed up and going in. First question: favorite fighter that you grew up watching?
Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.
Okay, she. Okay, what about your current? Is it a current fighter now that you like to watch, male or female?
There's a few. I mean, I love Inoue. Monster. He's one of my favorites.
Anyway, am I saying his name right? Anyway, or is it a new one?
I am not sure if I'm saying it correctly. Let's just call him Monster.
Okay. Right. Okay. I just be trying to. I don't be knowing, so I don't be knowing. Okay. Best fighter from your city or your country, when you were coming up, and now you think, in your opinion.
Now would be Oscar Valdez. We're both from Sonora, and he did his thing. He's the new WBC world champion. Coming up, I mean, I'm not sure, honestly. There's so many great fighters. Jose Luis Castillo, when he fought Mayweather. There's a lot of fighters in Sonora, so I mean, I don't want to single out anybody.
Okay. Right. Toughest opponent you had to face to date, and why do you think that opponent was so tough for you?
I think my first fight was the toughest for me as a pro because I didn't quite know what to expect. And then I also got chin checked in that first fight. I still had that little amateur style, and I got caught with my hand down, and I faced some adversity. Obviously, I've been growing since that fight, but to this day, I think that's been the only fight where I've been a little hurt, and I didn't know what to expect. It was all new to me, so I believe that my first fight was the toughest.
Okay. Real quick, do you think you could beat me up?
No, I think there's just a difference in strength, and men are men, women are women, and at the end of the day, we should just respect each other. I don't like getting into the whole fighting a man thing. It's absurd to me.
You probably could. Who you who you got? The big fight coming up, Manny Pacquiao, Earl Spence. Mm-hmm. Who you got?
I'm in between in that one because Spence, right, your twin, he's super strong. He's young. He's the rising star. He's been a world champion already for quite some time, and this is the biggest fight of his career. And then you got Manny Pacquiao. He's a legend. Who hasn't he fought? He's come up since from the flyweight division and then all the way up to 147. So I mean, it speaks a lot about him. Thanks. But I don't know. I have a feeling Spence is just gonna be too strong for him. I think the difference for Spence will be the speed that Pacquiao has. But I think Spence.
I'm myself personally, I'm in between that fight just like you. Like, I grew up watching Pacquiao. Mm-hmm. As a man, I'm a Spence fan. So I'm kind of in between. I said that Keith Thurman was, going to beat the hell out of Manny Pacquiao, and we saw how that turned out. So at this point, I'm just like, I'm not gonna doubt Manny no more. because I knew better. So I'm just watching this
Hmm.
fight as a fan, and I just really hope the best man win in this fight, really particularly.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about those.
I feel like I'm going back and forth, like Pacquiao's speed, who he's been in there with, his experience, and then I think about his age. But I think Pacquiao takes care of himself so well, and he's just so hungry, and he's just on a different level that his age really doesn't matter. And then I think about Spence, he's just super hungry. He has power. He's, coming off of a great performance. I don't know. I keep going back and forth, but then again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just cheering for Spence a little more because he's, you know, wanting to be take the legend's name. So I don't know. It could be a toss up, either one.
I kind of think with Manny Pacquiao, how like the 2 year layouts with him. I kind of think that's good for him and what he does in the point of his career. I think a fighter like him, Manny Pacquiao, pretty much knows what he's going to do. He knows pretty much everything there is
Yeah,
about boxing. You know what I mean? So he kind of knows. So I think with him, it's more so about physical conditioning, his body being right, able to take the punches. That's why I think the 2 years, is kind of good for a guy like him to recover his body after so many years of being a fighter.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. It might maybe rejuvenated him. He recovered. You know, took the stress off of having to get ready for a mega fight all those 2 years. So I definitely do believe that helped him a lot.
Okay. I'm the chat got some questions for you real quick. I'm not ignoring y'all chat. I'm just I was trying to, break the ice a little bit, get her introduced into the show. He said Salim, do you want 3 minute rounds?
I think as a fighter, we always want to fight more, regardless. I mean, male or female, we always want more. I would like 3 minute rounds. At the end of the day, my corner and the referee are there to save me if something were to happen. Um, that's their job. But as fighters, we always want to fight more.
Okay. He said, where is Sonora? Did I say it right? Where is Sonora and is boxing the primary sport?
Yeah, Sonora is just south of Arizona. It's one of the northern Mexican states. It borders here with Arizona. That's where I was born. I'm from Hermosillo, the city of Hermosillo, and we have a lot of world champions, but none have been female yet. So I'm hoping to be the first female world champion from Sonora.
Okay. I got one. He said, what do you think about ESPN rating Katie Taylor over Clarissa Shields?
I mean, I understand it. I mean, it's so hard to put either one at number two because they've done so much for the sport. Everywhere from the amateurs to the pros. Uh, currently Clarissa Shields went to PFL because she's looking for another challenge, and is so much wants to prove everybody that she can do whatever she sets her mind to, and she's amazing. She's a queen. I understand it on either list. There's been somewhere Katie's number two or Clarissa Shields number one, and I get it. It's just a preference. I think maybe what helps Katie Taylor is that there's a little more women in that division. I'm not sure if that influenced them, but I understand it.
Okay. Real quick to interject, because I see they got these jumps rolling. So let me interject real quick. I wanna know, how did you get into the sport? Was it like something that you picked up, or was it like a family thing, tradition that they kind of
Mm-hmm.
was it was it introduced to you, or did you go find it? I guess is what I'm asking.
Well, actually, I come from a Mexican household, so it's religion. You watch boxing every single weekend. Back in the day, it was you had the pay per view with the little boxes, and you had to pay for the fight, and then it was like a big old barbecue. In the neighborhood,
Black.
whoever was, yep, the little black box. Whoever had the fight on, everybody would come over, bring something to eat, and get together. So I grew up watching boxing, enjoying boxing. I'm the only girl with four brothers, two older and two younger. So my two older brothers started attending a local boxing club, and I always wanted to prove that I could be just as tough as they were. So I decided to tag along to a boxing club that they started going to. They didn't want to take me because I'm their little sister, and girls shouldn't do that. And in the Mexican household, especially, there's a lot of machismo. So my mom kind of didn't want me boxing either. So it was short lived. I only had like 4 fights, and then she made me quit. She said, "No, no more. You don't. You shouldn't be in boxing because that's for boys, and you should be at home helping me with chores." So I did about 4 fights when I was 11 years old, and then I never went to boxing again, only to watch my brothers fight. And then at 17, I started driving, so I drove myself to the gym, and I stuck to it ever since.
Okay. Did you have any amateur experience outside of the four as a child?
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
My bad. I said, did you have any amateur experience outside of the four fights you had as a child?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was on the Mexican national team. I did the Central Americans, Pan American games. I tried qualifying for the Olympics. I fell short qualifying in Argentina for the 2016 Rio Olympics. But I have a lot of amateur experience. I have almost 100 fights, and I international experience at that because that's the best in the world, the best from every country, and I'm very fortunate that to have been very well traveled in the amateurs.
Okay. Okay, real quick. Demetrius Bryce said, Salim, who is someone that you dream about fighting?
I've ever since I turned pro, I've always wanted to fight Ibe Zamora for some reason. I think she's a superstar. She's very entertaining to watch. She's been a world champion in at light flyweight and at flyweight. She recently lost the title to Marlene, but I think her and I would give the fans a great fight.
Ghost said, as a Mexican fighter. Wait, let me go up. I lost it. He jumped on me. He said, as a Mexican fighter, what does she think the Mexican fans don't support female Mexican boxers the way they support men Mexican boxers?
Honestly, I think in the United States, it's just a different culture. Female athletes aren't supported as much as male athletes. That's in the United States. In Mexico, it's a whole different culture. I debuted in Mexico on Box Azteca with Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. as one of the commentators as a co-main event to Panterita Neri. So women's boxing is huge in Mexico, and we're highly respected. There's at least one female fight on the main broadcast on every TV show. So it's something here in the United States that we're still working and fixing. But in Mexico, the fans love female boxing.
Okay. Ghost Ghost Bomb Squad said, would you consider ever going to MMA?
No, it's not something that I'm interested. I've never done things just for the money. I have to enjoy them. Um, I think that I have to love MMA in order to do it. Uh, I really don't see myself doing that. I can't even imagine myself kicking somebody in the shins and breaking my ankle or something. I don't know. It's definitely not something I'm interested in. I don't have a passion for it.
Okay. Do you think that do you think in a like okay, so you said that in Mexico that it's pretty boxing is boxing in Mexico. They treat the women's boxing like the men's boxing. Do you think in America without women's boxing, do you think there are things that could be done to bring more eyes on it like there are the men?
I think it's right now it's really building ever since 2016 that the elite amateurs decided to turn pro. I think it changed a lot of the market here in the US, and with the big promotions, like Top Rank, Golden Boy, Matchroom, putting women on those big cards headlining, that's made a difference. and we just have to keep doing that, putting good quality fights, high caliber uh, fights, and we're gonna keep gaining momentum here in the United States.
Okay. Where do you see? Where do you see? Uh, the state, like you said, it's been growing since 2016. It's 2020, and I noticed that too. You are right, because this since 2016, it kind of has been trending upwards. So I myself do think it's on the upward trajectory myself, especially with like Kayla Taylor, Clarissa Shields, Amanda Serrano, uh, yourself. Just women that like it's more exciting now, you know what I mean, to me. But I personally, I used to watch, Ann Wolf and Christian Martin and Layla Ali and all those women too. So I was always a fan of it myself, because if you watch Ann Wolf, then like you know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
like there was never a lack for me in necessarily, but I myself, I'm a hardcore fan. I watch anybody fight. If a fight break out outside my house, I'm gonna go outside and watch it, because I like to watch fights. But they just me personally. But do you see? Damn, I forgot my question, son. I was going somewhere with that. Oh yeah, who? Somebody asked you your dream fight. Who's in it? Who wins and why? And then I'm gonna ask you about a fight that I want to know about.
Dream fight. I mean, just a matchup that I would have liked to have seen. Maybe Provodnikov and Konstantin. That was, I don't know. It's just I figure like I would just be an all out war. I
Yeah,
I think I think maybe Konstantin would edge it out because
yeah,
I mean
yeah, probably.
he, he was just, he had a little more defense and that amateur pedigree that a lot of people didn't get to see a lot in the pros, but he's actually a very sound, technically sound boxer. And I think that would make the difference. He wouldn't just brawl; he would outsmart Provodnikov. But I would have loved to have seen that matchup if it would have. I mean, obviously they're from different time eras and all that, but I think that's a fight that I've talked about before that I would have liked to have seen.
Yeah. If I could put on two dream fights, they'll be heavyweight fights. I'd probably go Mike Tyson versus Deontay Wilder, and Muhammad Ali versus Lennox Lewis. I probably want to see that. Give me a front row seat to it. You could have a main event, co-main, however you want to do it. But that'll probably be my dream fight. I want to watch them and see who will
I
win
would
that
have
race.
liked to have seen Ann Wolf and Clarissa Shields.
Ooh,
That would have been.
I love Clarissa Shields.
Yeah.
Lord though, man, Lord. Oh man. I don't think I say this. Clarissa Shields wouldn't have been afraid to fight her. Whew.
Clarissa Shields isn't afraid to fight anybody. She wants everybody and anybody, all the smoke, all she's a beast.
Yeah, man. Once really I used to call, she used to call herself the GOAT. I used to call Ann Wolf the GOAT. And then I heard Ann Wolf
Mm-hmm.
say that Shield. So I guess that made it okay for me. But Ann Wolf was my favorite women's fighter before,
Mm-hmm.
came in. But
Her
yeah, I used to
power,
watch
man.
her.
Her
Yeah.
power was insane.
She was different. She was a little
Mm-hmm.
different. Okay, I got a question for you, but I'm gonna let him ask this one. Then after this one, y'all gotta let me get something. He said, "Who wins? Who wins this month? Serrano versus Mercado championship fight." Y'all saying
Uh,
that right?
Putting me on the spot right there with that one because she's my fellow Mexican, Mercado, but
I'll speak
Serrano's
your mind.
just
Say what you mean. This is on here. We say what we mean on here. We say what we
Serrano's
mean.
just Serrano's on a different level. Her power is unmeasurable, and I think Serrano's gonna win. It's gonna be entertaining for as long as it lasts, but I have Serrano up.
Okay. I got a question for you real quick. I personally, well, this is my co-host. This is my co-host. I don't know why he not on the show, but this is my co-host right here. Try Media said, "What is camp like? Diet, treadmill, elliptical, or track? And what makes a good coach?"
Well, a good coach doesn't only just train you physically, but mentally. to get ready to fight, because at the end of the day, you are going up into the ring to fight somebody that wants to hurt you. So you have to be very mentally prepared. Um, and camp life, I mean, just focused, eat, sleep, box. I don't really socialize with a lot of people. I do my thing. I'm in, you know, social media is one thing, and real life is another. I could post a lot of pretty or sexy pictures on Instagram. That doesn't mean that's me at the moment. I mean, honestly, days a week I look like a slob. Always in gym clothes. Always, just training, and that's my job. That's what I do. I get up, I go do my run, my road work, or my strength and conditioning. Come back, I cook, I clean, I do all my chores that I have to take care of, errands. Then I go train again for about 4 hours, and then I make food again. And I mean, I stay in the kitchen. I cook for myself, and I try to eat as healthy as possible. I'm busy every single day, and that's camp life. And I saw that he also asked elliptical or track, or you know what? I prefer running outside, outdoors. I love the track, and just going out to the mountain. Here we have a South Mountain that's pretty nice to go run at, and I like doing that very much.
Okay. Uh, I got a question for you real quick. In your last fight, I seen Conor Loco Sports came through here, and he said he felt like your last fight was a draw. I personally, I said I watched it originally, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched it originally, and I had you up through 4, but I had her winning 7-5. I watched it yesterday, and I had you winning through 4 again, but I ended up this card it was 6-6. So I feel like either way, it was a pretty close fight. How do you feel? Do you feel that you did enough to win, and what do you think that you could have done differently to let the judges know that you want to take the doubt away?
Oh, I think I'm not a sore loser. I'm not a person that sits there and put up excuses or whatnot. I think it was definitely a great fight. Yeah, I don't hear anybody complaining about that. I felt like I boxed very well. I was criticized a lot in my previous fight before this one, that my head movement wasn't there, and I showed a lot of skill. I was making her miss 4 or 5 punch combinations. You know, she wasn't landing in very many punches. My footwork was on point. I felt like the first half of the fight I boxed very well. Then my corner decided to tell me to, you know, go forward and bang with her a little bit. It didn't, her style, it felt awkward. Like when I did try to go forward, it felt like, I don't know, it just felt off. The timing felt off, and I can see where people thought I got tired, but it was I had a harder time. It was easier for me to just box her, and had I boxed her, I think more I would have won more convincingly. But I listened to my corner and I tried to do it, and I couldn't. But I understand what they wanted, because every time I landed, you know, I would rock her. I would, you know,
Yeah,
she would take steps back every time,
yeah.
and so she can't fight on her back foot. So they wanted me to back her up for that specific reason. It's just I gotta just get back in the gym. There's a lot of things that I still gotta get better at. Obviously, there's a huge improvement from my previous fight to this one, and you know, I'm hungrier. I'm hungrier. She came out of the ring and she told me that she didn't think that she won, that maybe even a draw would have been fair. So
See,
I,
okay, look, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. That's what, like, look, nobody, neither of y'all did enough to win that fight. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
It was supposed to be a draw, and y'all supposed to run it back. And she told you that because fighters feel it. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel like a loser. You can sit here in front of me and you can say what you say comfortably because you know you didn't lose. No, you don't. Fighters know. So for her to say that, I got more respect for her now.
Yeah.
Hearing that, because a
I,
fighter know.
I felt good in there. I felt comfortable. I felt
You look,
I mean,
you look good.
I feel like there's a lot of fighters that, you know, they their defense and their footwork and their skill is valued, and mine wasn't valued at all that night. I do feel it was a close fight, but I honestly thought we had it. Unfortunately, we didn't. It is what it is. But then that judge that gave me 1 round, I mean, that's just ridiculous. He's judged 18 rounds of mine, and he's only given me 1 round. In the fight against Marlena Esparza, I went forward. I we threw about the same amount of punches. She outlanded me, I think, by like 3 or 4 punches, but it was about the same, and I was the one that put on the pressure, right? And he didn't give me 1 round. In this one, I boxed, and he gave me 1 round. So I don't understand, what's going on there with Carl Moretti, or I don't know if that's his name, Moret with Moret. But it is what it is. I think his name's Lou Moret. I'm sorry.
Real quick, Ghost said, "Is there racism in the sport of boxing? Does she think the media is unjust to certain fighters, quote unquote Deontay, for reasons beyond understand? Do you think the media is unjust to certain fighters beyond reason that they for reasons that they don't understand?"
uh, I think there's. I don't know. I don't see it like that. I think there's just some media likes you and some media doesn't. I think it goes around with every boxer. In Mexico, a lot of media doesn't like Canelo, and he's the boxing's biggest star right now. So I mean, it's just, I guess it is what it is. You can't do anything about it. I don't think there's any racism, or I don't know if there is. I haven't felt it. I felt sexism. Maybe I haven't felt racism because I haven't lived it. But it is what it is. I think us boxers, being on that platform, people have the right to speak and say whatever they want. And at the end of the day, we know where we stand. Deontay Wilder is hungrier than ever. He wants this fight. I mean, he could have just stepped aside and not taken it, but he's really hungry. And at the end of the day, he has to do what's best for himself.
Ghost said glove manipulation seems to be a big topic at the present. We see fighters like O'Shaquie Foster catch people. Do you think manipulation is an issue? And have you ever seen it with your have you ever seen it?
Um, I haven't seen it here in the United States, but where I was boxing in Mexico, I feel like the commissions aren't really there checking, what's going on. In Mexico, I could see my opponents, layering the hand wraps
Yeah.
because it's common over there. It's not something that, you don't have somebody from the commission right there
It's not
watching.
it's not
Well,
viewed as cheating in some places. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, and I mean, here in the United States, you have the commission right there on you all the time, from when you start rapping all the way to when your gloves go on. So I don't know. I think with anything though, when there's money involved, I think a lot of things get ugly. But I mean, it's a very dangerous sport as it is. So I hope that stuff isn't being done.
King Von 86 said, "What precautions do you take in count to ensure everything's run smoothly during the pandemic?"
I try not to go out too much. I have to do my day-to-day things where I have to go grocery shopping and things like that. But I won't go to like um outings with, friends, meeting up with a lot of people. It's just, I don't want to I'm not afraid of getting sick. It happens. You can only avoid so much, but I try to take my vitamins, my zinc, my magnesium, my try to get as much sleep as possible, because I think all those things boost your immune system and help you stay healthy. And at the end of the day, I don't want to train so hard and then have a fight fall through because I tested positive. So I do as much as I can. Obviously, you can only do so much, and when it happens, it's going to happen.
Oh my God, KO. I had one, but I lost it.
Mhm.
Lost it on the screen. Hold on, I got. What do you think about Canelo once again giving a fighter short notice to fight him? Bivol got 6 weeks to train for his fight. Shout out Knockouts with Nike.
Is the fight already happening? I don't know. I've been kind of MIA. I didn't know if it
Yeah, I don't
was
know.
for sure.
I don't know if it's set yet, but he talking to B. I think him and Plain are done, and I think
Hmm.
Bivol is probably the next move
No.
that's happening. But it will be on the same date, as he was going to fight anyway.
Okay. Well, I mean, he's the big dog. I mean, he's who everybody wants to fight. I think it's for us boxers. It's not a seasonal sport, and I think it's become a little bit of a culture to only get ready when you have a fight instead of being ready and in case something shows up, taking the opportunity. I mean, that's how I signed with Golden Boy. I got called 2 weeks before, and they asked me if I was ready to fight, and I said yeah. I took the opportunity, and here I am. Now I'm fighting with Golden Boy. Sometimes big opportunities come when you least expect it. We're not getting younger, and if you feel ready, if you feel like you've been in the gym and if you've been training, um, you take them.
Right. Alex Black said, how much hidden Mexican talent is there? We've seen Mauricio Lara come over, guys like Burchell, Navarrete being
Mhm.
hidden for so long. Just how much is out there?
there's there's so much boxing in Mexico. Boxing is a religion. There's a gym in every corner in Mexico City. Everybody and anybody has boxed every Saturday night. They watch boxing on Box Azteca. I think, you know, um, we they just need to make it out and be on these big cards. Go over the pond, come over to the United States. But there's a lot of hidden talent. Sometimes it's just hard for them to make it because they don't have much support, and they don't have that TV time, or a lot of people don't hear about them or know about them. But there's a lot of talent everywhere, not only in Mexico.
You know, he said, I said he. Ghost Bomb Squad said, "What's your stance on the franchise belt? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? How does she feel about WBC raising acceptable computer levels in boxing?"
Well, first of all, with the belts, the way I see it, the highest belt, the one that's at the very very top, to me, that's the champion. If there's no franchise champion at 126, whoever's at the top, that's the champion. And then if there is a franchise champion at 135, whoever's at the very top, that's the champion. That's the way I see it. um Same thing with the WBA. There's a regular, there's a super. I think whoever's at the top, the super, that's the champion. um I think as an athlete, you have to look at whoever's at the very, very top and know that that's the one to beat, and hopefully all these fights get made. I do understand the whole meat thing in Mexico, especially in Mexico City. I lived there for about 5-6 years. Obviously, it's a problem. I had a friend that tested positive while we were in the Olympic trials, and his was I don't know the percentage what it was, but he used to eat out a lot, and that's something that they tell us not to do while we're staying at the Olympic Center. We shouldn't be eating out of the Olympic Center if we're eating meat because of what they have, and it is an issue in Mexico. It's a huge issue. At the end of the day, like I said, cheating is a no. So hopefully, if they're coming down on all that, this is all dangerous as it is, and cheating should not be allowed. And hopefully, these fighters, are doing right and following the rules, and testing is done the right way.
Okay. Demetrius Rice said you're pound for pound. I guess you go top five. I guess.
Ah, this is tough. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, male or female? You're putting me on the spot because I'm gonna leave people out because it's like I can't think when I'm like right there.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Male, I'm gonna go with. I don't even know. Well, I think Canelo has to be number one. He's the big
Okay.
dog.
Those are my number one too.
Uh, it's tough because you have some people across the street and then you have some people across the so it's like I don't know where to put them, but I mean,
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. Okay.
so I don't know where to put all these fighters, but definitely they're all great fighters. I mean, I love Spence, I love Crawford, I like Inoue, I like Joshua Taylor, he's undisputed. I like Teofimo. I think Haney, looked great in his last fight. There's a lot of them. I don't know. You're putting me on the spot with that one.
Okay. I got I got Canelo. I got Earl. Who was my three? Josh Taylor. Who was my four? Canelo, Earl, Taylor.
I
Bud was
forgot
my
Anthony
fifth.
Joshua too.
I don't do I don't put heavyweights on mine. I don't do heavyweights
Yeah,
because they already at the top.
yeah.
I forgot who my fourth was, but I know I had Canelo, Earl. Oh, I had Canelo, Earl. I forgot you, man. I forgot who I had. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think it was Canelo. No, Sean Porter not in there trap. He said Sean. No, Sean Porter's not in there trap. It was Canelo. Earl. I know Bud
Hey,
was
Sean
fifth.
Porter. Sean Porter versus Errol Spence was a good fight.
Yeah,
That
it
was a
was.
good fight.
It was. Did they win Fight of the Year?
I don't know. I don't know, but it was one of the ones that I enjoyed the most, definitely.
I said, how does she feel about Canelo turning down undisputed for the second time? He did it at 160, now 168. Is that fear?
See, here's the thing with that stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm not in the negotiations. I don't know what's going on. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to see those fights as a fan, but I can't speak on something that I really don't know about because I don't see no contracts. I don't get any money out of it, so I'm not gonna stress out about it.
He said, who do you think won Vince versus Porter?
I think you have to really think about what style you like. Obviously, Spence hurt him a couple times, but I think Porter, outworked him a little bit. Um, I don't know. It's just a matter of preference. I think it could have gone either way.
I personally think with the knockdown, I think it was an even fight, and the
Hmm.
knockdown made the difference. I think
Yeah,
it was. I think it was just. I think it was just. I think the knockdowns would make the difference. I think if they had a both stayed up on their feet upright, it would have been
yeah,
hard to tell who won that fight. But I think
yeah,
the fact that Porter glove touched the ground, then they gave
yeah,
Spence the edge. It was something that smiled. I think that
I,
was the difference in the fight.
yeah. I can't remember if Porter hurt Spence or not, but I do remember that he was
He
he was
barely, he
outworking him. He
barely,
was
yeah,
Yeah, he was just on him, and I think that made Spence grow a lot. That made him a better fighter.
yeah. He said Usyk versus AJ prediction.
I'm not sure how Uzyk's gonna look as a heavyweight. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think he's very agile and he boxes well, but I don't know how he's gonna deal with the difference in size. With AJ's pretty a big guy, and the power. I don't know. I think I have no idea. I'm gonna just say that I don't know, but I'll lean more towards AJ.
I picked I picked Usyk just because um I seen AJ. A lot of people don't know this, but I seen AJ beat Michael Porter and beat Joe Joyce, and I'm thinking, and a lot of people AJ. I seen AJ get touched by Andy. You know what I'm saying, and
Hmm.
turn him get turned to a boxer. I think Usyk is tougher than people think give him credit for. I think
Yeah,
he did just enough in his fights at heavyweight because he didn't want to get caught by one of those heavyweight punches and get knocked out and lose the AJ fight. I think
I think
now that
I think he's so well rounded as a boxer he knows how to pick his punches, combinations, and you don't really see that too much. He's very agile. So that's definitely something that I think about. I just don't know. I haven't paid too much attention at how he's looking as a heavyweight, honestly.
Yeah, he ain't look. He hasn't looked that good at heavyweight. He hasn't looked that good. But I think it's because he hasn't put his all into it yet. I think with the AJ fight, I think he's go. I think this is what he was waiting on when he signed to Eddie. Anyway, so I
Yeah.
think this the fight you gonna get to see Usyk actually bite down, and I think he might hurt AJ. I think he might drop him a few times. They just me personally.
I don't doubt it. I mean, I don't doubt it. I'm just excited to see it. It's one of those fights that I just don't know what's gonna happen. I want to see it.
Yeah. Demetrius Bryce said her thoughts on Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez, Devin Haney, and Virgil Ortiz.
I think Shakur is one of those very extremely gifted fighters. He knows how to pick his punches. He boxes very well. The only thing I want to see more of is that vicious boxer that just wants to get somebody out of there, added to his tools. Oscar Valdez. I mean, I've trained with him. I've known him since we were 11 years old. So the guy is superhuman. I mean, he trains so hard. Everything's a competition to him. Even in training, like he has to be the first in sprints. He has to do this. And now training with Canelo, I feel like at first he struggled a little bit with Reynoso. I think when you do a change like that in training, sometimes it takes you a little bit to go off and do well. But I think they finally start to understand each other, and all that came together for that Berchelt fight. He really, shut some mouths with that. I couldn't believe the way people were saying that he was just gonna get laid out.
And I'm,
Valdez.
and I'm gonna
Valdez.
tell you, I was one of those people. I was one of those people. Like I was like I told Nike this actually. I was saying before the fight, man, Burchell go beat the hell out of Valdez. Why he even fighting him and all that. And then Valdez, he went out there. I like the way the fight went. I thought that Burchell was going to do that to him. He had it impressed me that like I made a sudden tear back there. Like he made a fan out of me that day. Like he really showed me. He showed me something that day. Like at first I had Shakur beating him easily, but now I don't know. I think it's exciting. I think it's gonna be something to watch. Like
I think
Valdez,
I
he
think
got it.
what people don't understand about Valdez is Valdez always rises to the occasion. If he, like I said at the beginning, he had just changed and trainers to Eddie Reynoso after being with Manny Robles for so long, and of course that's
Yeah,
gonna affect you. You gotta get to know your trainer. You gotta understand what he wants from you, when the way he looks at you. It changes a lot of things. So I think it took some time, but Valdez did his thing. Now he's on top of the world right now. I mean, after that huge upset. Then Devin Haney. I mean, Devin Haney's jab. I mean, I need to work on my jab. I need to I need to hit up Devin Haney. His jab is just, amazing. I like how he's ready to fight anybody. He's willing to fight everybody. I like that very much. I think he's a very
right.
poised boxer. Um, I think he picks his punches well, puts combinations together well. If a little more power, and he's gonna be more dangerous. But he has really good pedigree, and he not only boxes, but he'll go forward like he did with his last fight. He with Linares, he showed that he wanted to give the fans a show, and I like that. I like that very much. Virgil Ortiz, I've seen him fight live a few times, and the kid, his power is crazy. His solid jab, it's very underrated. I'm very excited, for what the future holds for him. He's not afraid to call out the big dogs. He wants,
Yeah.
the big fights. I think give him a year or so, and he's gonna be one of the big names at 147.
Alex Black said, "Who's a boxer you think doesn't get enough credit?"
Uh I think I'm gonna go with Inoue. I don't think he gets enough credit at all. I think the smaller weight classes, regardless, they just don't get
Yeah,
enough credit. They don't make a lot of noise. They're not even covered by a lot of media outlets. They're a lot of people don't even know about them. Um, but they give great fights. I mean, they throw twice as much as heavyweights do. They don't hug. It's all action from beginning to end, and they don't even make
right,
as much.
right. You said Donir.
Yeah.
Okay. He said what's her opinion on Rigo? And Ringo and the way Ringo has been treated for his whole career. Multiple times unified, two-time gold medalist. Ringo got two golds. And they telling him to brawl or no more TV while Loma is called the Matrix. Ringo got two golds?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what I was going at with some boxers. They need to entertain a little more. Um, he's like opera. He's but not everybody likes opera. He's so good. He's so poised. He knows how to pick his punches. He's very methodical when he's in there, but it tends to people want to see knockouts at the same time, and it tends to take away from who he is, because he's an outstanding boxer, but people want to be entertained. Like, he'll be peppering somebody, catching them left and right and everything, but at one point they want to see him put them away. So I understand that as a fan. I think Loma really made a statement in this last fight, coming out and swinging for the fences at Nakatani and taking him out. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. To each boxer their own. I think Rigo, it's going to be very hard to change his style after he's had such a long trajectory, not only in the pros, but in the amateurs. Cuban boxers don't tend to turn pro that often. They spend years in the amateurs. I mean, you have Roniel Iglesias going to it. I think this is his fourth Olympic, third time, third time medaling. So I mean, it's tough. They come from a very different school of boxing, and they're so smart and so crafty. But sometimes I guess as fans, they want to see that killer instinct also.
Yeah. I'm gonna say what's her opinion on Ryan Garcia being the mandatory for Devin and still not fighting him and still not wanting to fight and
I want to
preferring
see
to
that
fight.
fight. I want to see that fight. As a fan, I want to see that fight. I think that's been hurting boxing a lot when great fights don't get made. And call it what you want to call it. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney are two fighters that are highly followed by non-boxing people outside of the boxing world. So that fight would create so much revenue. I think the young crowd is very interested in that fight. I want to see it. I hope Ryan Garcia fights Devin Haney soon. I mean, he's his mandatory, so he should want to do that. That's the way I feel about it. But it sucks for Devin Haney because he's the champ and he wants all the smoke. But um, it doesn't seem like you know Ryan is too interested right now in fighting him. Um, but I don't know. He has to take care of his business first, and then hopefully that fight gets made.
Hey, Demetrius Bright, I got my cash app rolling down there. My I can't I can't get super chats until I probably have super chats probably by another week, bro. Cause I'll be money chat pretty soon. But my cash app down there. Oh my yeah, right. He said Ringo. Wait, there you go. Wait. Cause I want to know this. I was gonna ask this one, but I. He said, how often does she interact with? How often do you interact with Oscar De La Hoya? Her thoughts on him fighting again in September.
Well, I think Oscar did what he had to do in the pros, during his time. You see videos of him fighting back in the day, sold out arenas. The fans just loved him. They went crazy for him. Women went crazy for him. I mean, if he was a star during that time when social media wasn't what it is today, imagine what he would have been if social media was what it was today, because he was filling up stadiums. I think he doesn't get the love that he deserves for what he did in the pros. Because look at his resume. He fought the very best, and in their prime. So I think let the legends do what they want to do. They already did what they had to do when in their prime. So I mean, and here's another thing: is a lot of people don't recognize he does a lot of work with charities. He helps a lot of charities, and I believe in this fight he's also doing that. So I mean, if it's gonna help a charity, why not?
Okay. He said, "What do you think about other?" Okay, look, she been here an hour, y'all. If y'all got any more questions, y'all can go and ask them. Y'all know I don't be trying to keep my guests here forever. I normally say 30 minutes or an hour, but she been here an hour and 5 minutes, and I greatly appreciate that. So if y'all got some questions, we gonna take like 2, 3 more questions, and I'm gonna let her roll because I know she a busy lady. She got things to do. So he said, what do you think about fighters calling out other fighters and then not fighting them?
Well, I mean, we want to see those fights. As a fan, I'm a boxer, but I'm also a fan, and I want to see the best fights made. So when a fighter calls somebody else out, and I hope it happens. It sucks that it doesn't, whether it's contractual problems or whatnot. But I mean, as a fan, I want to see all the great fights made.
Okay. Alex Black said, I'm gonna make Alex Black. I'm gonna make Alex Black the last question, y'all. Then I'm gonna let her go and get up out of here because she gave me an hour, and I greatly appreciate that. He said, who do you think won Oscar versus Stern? Did I say his name right?
Yeah, Felix Sturm.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even remember the fight too much. I think I was little, but I thought Oscar did enough to pull it through, and I didn't. I think from what I remember, I was confused about the decision. I think I have to rewatch the fight because I don't remember too much of it. But I thought Oscar De La Hoya pulled it.
He's Kendrick. Okay, this last question I'm just together for real. Kendrick is the ghost because I want to know this too. He said, "What fight of yours is your favorite fight?"
Oh, there's a lot of but I'm gonna go with Pacquiao Marcus 4 because it was just long overdue for Marcus to win a fight. We're in the living room and it was like a packed house. Everybody got together to watch the fight, and when Pacquiao went down, the room exploded. I mean, we all started. It was like New Year's. Like we all started hugging each other and celebrating, and it was just that memory means a lot to me.
Okay. Uh, what fight of your own fight is your favorite?
I think the last one, definitely the last one's my favorite so far.
That would have been mine too,
Because
actually.
it was exciting. It was fun. I feel like I really grew a lot in that fight, and I've learned a lot. Now after that fight, I see different things that I didn't see before when I watched boxing. I definitely feel like I learned a lot, and I was my debut on the zone. I was on Brandon Rios versus Sorrita Soto, and I got
Yeah.
to be on the co-main event. Fell short, and there was a cut, and I had to go in right before the main event. So it was a packed arena in Tijuana, and it was just I think I didn't sleep for like 2 days after that boxing high. It was just awesome. It was so fun.
Okay. So I'm gonna let her get up out of here, y'all. Everybody telling me how they thank you for coming through here. I want to thank you again for coming through here. Uh, Again, you did not have to do this, so I do greatly appreciate you coming through here and giving me this interview. Uh, like I told Jake and Tay and all them, by y'all coming through here and actually saying yes to me, y'all helping me in my journey. Y'all giving me credibility in myself to have great fighters come through here, great boxing minds come through here, and talk that stuff with me. So I do greatly appreciate you coming through here. I'm a fan of yours. Your last fight, I enjoyed watching that fight. I feel like that decision loss was tough. It hurt me a little bit when they said draw. When they said you lost, I ain't gonna tell you like it took a little out of me. Uh, I highly, highly enjoy watching that fight. You really can fight, and it's not just me saying this because you're here. Just from what I saw, you really can fight. And I mean it. Like, I'm not one. You can ask my chat. I'm not a guy who's go tell you what you want to hear. You
Yeah.
really do have skills though, and I enjoy watching your last fight. So After your next fight, hopefully, maybe I could get you to come back through here and everything, and we could do this again. It was great having you on, Sulem.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to speak with me, and to everybody that tuned in. Thank you for all the great questions. Put me on the spot on some of them, but it was fun. And I hope to be back here with all of you.
Okay. Thank you for coming through, Sulem. Beautiful. That's beautiful, man. I like when shit go as planned, bro. I like when shit go as planned, bro. Hey, y'all know how I do it. I might come back on in a minute. I might come back. Terry, boy. I'm like, bro, I wasn't expecting that one. I said, bro. Hey, but yeah, y'all know how to do it. I'm probably come back on in a minute. I want the interview. I want the interview to be, just the interview. So I'm gonna go and get the hell up out of here. Shout out to y'all folks. If I go live again, it'll probably be like, might be in an hour or so, bro. Y'all know how to do this shit though. But make sure y'all come through, like this video, share, tell a friend, Skin the harder way, Southern T. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love. Terry Smooth Jr., you a motherfucker.